I have not regretted my first child attending Academic City. If I had the opportunity, I'll do it over and over again. And I look forward to my 2 other daughters attending Academic City University. I'm A.A Anista E.A Okudzeto, and my ward is Margery Andah, class of 2026, a human resource management student. She had just completed her 6th form exams, which was, I think, sometime in June. And we had a discussion, and we knew that she was going to be attending the University of Ghana, Legon. So she went, as we were waiting for the time, because you have to wait for at least 6 months before you go into the University of Ghana. So she was interning at Dankwa Institute. And then in one of her days at work, she got into a conversation with someone who was visiting that day. Academic City University came up, and she came home and she discussed it with me. At the time that Margery had this conversation with the gentleman, the first cohort for that particular semester had, I think if I'm right, about 3 days for that cohort to close. And so when she came home and she discussed it with me, she had a call from her admissions officer, Lorna. And then the next day we went to look at it. We loved the place, I loved the surrounding, I loved the buildings, I loved the lecture halls and everything. So we had a discussion. We realized that the fees was manageable. And then within 2 days, we had to prepare quickly and then send her off to school. Over the years also, I can see how her lecturers had, warmed up to her. She was always going after her lectures, going after her admissions officer, going after the NABI. Any little problem, she would send it to them, and they found the time for her anytime she went to them. Whatever was beyond her, they made sure they gave her the support that she needed. And this was throughout the 4 years that she was in school. So yes, the school, the lectures, the NABI, Lorna, they've all been amazing, helping her with her journey through Academic City University. When I stepped into that school, that university the first time, I loved it right from the beginning. I love everything about the school, the impact it has made on my ward or on our child. I always say that if the ward or the child is willing to put herself out or himself out, the school offers the resources for the child to do that. So it's 50-50. The child has to be present 50%, and then the school would meet the child 50%. And that's the good thing about the school. They bring out talents that you never even knew about your ward. They push them to bring themselves out. So by the time the child is coming out of school, you can actually even sometimes foresee what the child or the path that the child will take. Margery has gone into radio, she's been in the SRC, she's done Judicial Council and all that. And all those things just help to, shape the child. But it also mostly depends on the child. If the child is willing, the school would meet the child and ensure that they bring out the potential in the child.